we are going to continue today finding the slope. We will do a couple of practice from our graphs, and then on the back side of this, we will practice using our slope formula, okay? So the finding it from a graph should be kind of a review topic. Basically what you're trying to do is you find 2 points that intersect on the graph perfectly, and you are trying to find how many units up and over they are, or down and over. But you have to remember that you need to do the rise over the run every single time. So in this case, if I were going left to right, I would go up, and I would move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. That's a positive 5. And then I would go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. It's a positive 6. So your slope is 5 over 6. You kind of check to see if you can reduce it or simplify it. If you can't, that is your answer. Okay. Number 2. Same type of situation. Actually, let's jump. Let's do number 6. I want to do an opposite one with you. So this one, I would go down 1, 2, 3 units, so that's a negative 3. And then to the right, 2 units, and that's a positive 2. So that turns to be negative 3 over 2. Please do not write them as a mixed number. Just leave them as an improper fraction, just as long as they're simplified. Let's just talk about number 4. Number 4 is one of those special cases. Let's take it literally. Would you go up or down at all? No. So your rise would be 0. How many would you go over? 1. What's 0 divided by 1? 0. Okay. Now here the thing is anytime you have a flat line, you don't really have to do this extra little work. You should just know that flat horizontal lines have a slope of 0. Okay? And then on the flip side, what is a graph that has a vertical line? What would the slope of that line be? Undefined. Okay? So those are the 2 different types. Okay, so let's flip our page over. And we are going to be practicing using the slope formula. I did not really give this to you in much depth yesterday, but our slope formula, let's write it up here in our corner. It's m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so, and you don't have to rewrite it every single time. I'm just going to rewrite it a couple times for us here. When you have a number, this is like you would actually say like y sub 2 minus y sub 1. This just means that it's the first ordered pair versus the second ordered pair. So when you have 2 ordered pairs, you name them x1, y1, x2, y2. The first ordered pair are your 1s, the second ordered pair are your 2s. And now what you're going to do is you're going to plug these values into your little equation here. So if I look, y2 was 17, so 17 goes in first. y1 is 19, so 19 goes in second. On the bottom, I have x2, which is 7, and x1, which is 18. Okay, so you could use a calculator, or 17 minus 19 gives us a negative 2. 7 minus 18 gives us a negative 11. Okay, you can also think of these as like adding the opposite. Who wins the battle? The negatives win. How much do they win by? They win by 11. Now the last little step here, you want to see, can you simplify this at all? Well, if you have a negative on the top and a negative on the bottom, it does cancel each other out. 2 11s cannot be simplified, so that's your final answer. So number 8, x1, y1, x2, y2. y2 is 4, y1 is -5. x2 is 16 over x1 is 1. Now, one thing that we need to remember here is that if you subtract a negative, yep, it really turns to addition, so I'm going plus the positive. So then 4 plus 5 is 9. 16 minus 1 is 15. Now this one can be simplified because each one can be divided by a 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. That's your final answer. So most of the time, your slope will be a fraction. Let's do a couple more. x1, y1, x2, y2 equals -20 minus 11. y2 minus y1. Positive 20 minus 6. x2 minus x1. So this one, it's -20, and I'm decreasing it 11 more. So that would give me a -31. The other way to think about it is adding the opposite. Got 20 on the negative team, 11 more on the negative team. We end up with 31 on the negative team. 20 minus 6 gives us 14. And 31 and 14 just really don't have anything in common. That's your answer. Okay, number 10. x1, y1, x2, y2. And I just encourage you to label them every single time. Then it's very just mindless for you to kind of dump them into the equation. y2 is 17, y1 is 19. x2 is -16, x1 is also a -16. So if you have 17 and you take away 19, you end up with a -2. Now this one, you subtract a negative, you end up adding -16 plus a positive 16 is 0. Now can you divide by 0? No. If you put this in your calculator, you would get an error. Okay? We know this as an undefined slope. Now if 0 is on the top, you can take 0 and divide it by a number, and that is just a slope of 0. But this one is undefined. Okay? So there are your examples of finding slope from two ordered pairs.